Hey, we're live.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
And if anyone has been watching more than one of these, you will see I look different than normal. Sound different. I'm very tired. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. Last night was the worst night so far. I went into 2 a.m. instead of my normal 1 or midnight.
Uh-huh.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're pushing your limits there, man. Like
I used to be worse than this. There was a time where I didn't care too much about my sleep.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like I'm Superman when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, well, if I'm tired, I'll just go to sleep. It's okay.
Yeah.
I was doing that for months, and it kept going down. The number of hours I could sleep, meaning I could go to sleep easily, but I would wake up easily and I couldn't go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, the number went down, down, down. It was starting to get so low that I had to have a second session of sleep, which even that was fine for me too. I was like, maybe that's even better. Yeah. Maybe the universe meant that for us. And then it became like 4 hours in the main sleep and then 2 hours in the evening. And then it became like 4 hours in 1 hour, 3 hours in 1 hour. It got down to 3 hours. Then one day I realized my brain wasn't waking up. Like the whole day I was not functional.
Yeah.
And I got scared and I thought I broke my brain. then I went to a sleep doctor. Then I found out there's people way worse than that. Like people going to law school who are studying like crazy for their big test or whatever. And there was one guy that didn't sleep for 2 weeks straight intentionally or something like that.
Yeah.
And he like broke his brain. He couldn't sleep anymore. Yeah. They had to use drugs to fix it.
Yeah.
It's the way I am.
I got scared to fix that. And now I'm a lot more sensitive to my sleep issue.
Yeah.
But I'm still fucking it up.
So in some ways, you sound a lot like just what I've experienced over aging. The older I get, the less I can sleep steady. You know.
Yeah. Well, right before this latest bout of what's causing me to not sleep so much. So we're talking like just 2 months ago. I was sleeping 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Yeah.
No troubles. Just what's different is there's more projects to do. Yeah. And I only have one lifetime and I don't want to wait 1,000 years to finish these things. So I'm just doing it now.
Yeah, well, yes, you can push your limits a lot though. When I first started my business long ago, I was working over 24 hours twice a week. I was staying at work and I'd work straight to the night. So
that's 48 hours only?
Yeah, I'd stay up all night, and usually I'd get in a nap here or there, but I'd stay at the shop. I'd sleep on the couch for half an hour or something a couple times, and
yeah. So, are you aware of this sleeping schedule where you sleep half hour every 4 hours or some shit like that, where you end up being a total of only like 3 hours for the day, but according to this theory, it's the equivalent of 8 hours. I think it's crazy, but what do you think of that? And have you heard of that?
No, but
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I can imagine how it would it would get to you after a while. I know this got to me after a while doing this. Like I said, just working 24 hours several times a week. It was tough on me, but I was a lot younger then.
They have jobs like that where like I don't know. My daughter's going to be getting into something like that. Like firefighters, they'll have a schedule where you're on a 24-hour shift.
Yeah.
But then you have, what is it? Yeah. It's like a lot in a small section and then a lot of big break, but still maybe adding up to 40 hours a week. So they're designing it into the work that way, the work shift.
Yeah, but they are allowed to sleep on their break.
That's true. Because they're on call, they sleep during it. Yeah.
Yeah, they can sleep during, but if they get calls for that entire time, they're not going to sleep. So
right. So big cities, that's an issue.
Yeah.
But also, you figure, when you go to a fire like that, where you get a big call, you could be out there breaking down the fire and that for over 24 hours.
Yeah. In those situations.
Yeah, like you mean if you get a major fire, yeah. And again, that's probably big cities, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like I lived in West Des Moines, there in Iowa, and we had a fire down the road. It was just a single-family home that caught on fire. The fire department sat out there for 12 hours after they doused the fire to make sure it didn't flare back up.
Yeah.
They got to sit there for a certain amount of time to make sure the fires don't flare back up.
Yeah. Well, in the best case scenarios, I heard that in the Hawaii fire that they had, that was one of their big mistakes, because they had all these little fires popping up. So they put one out and they'd run to the other one, and the first one they went to would flare back up again because the wind was so big. And one of those got out of control.
What year or decade was this?
Oh, just a few years ago in Hawaii. They had that massive fire in Hawaii.
If they know how to do it, like Edward just said, how come they aren't doing it?
They were so strung out. They had so many fires going on. They didn't have enough
manpower.
They didn't have enough manpower. Yeah.
Women power. Stop saying manpower.
Okay.
My daughter's going to be doing this.
People power.
Well, we definitely need more firefighters now. That's for sure. Especially the ones up in the bush and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I noticed on the map the other day, 3/4 of the country's on fire. It looks like, or at least half. I swear, you zoom out the map, and it's like the whole western portion of the North American country is on fire.
Well, smoke. You're talking about just smoke or actual fire.
Actual fire.
Yeah, because smoke has covered a lot of people too.
Yeah, no, they've actually on this app I use on my phone called My Radar. You zoom out, you can it shows where all the fires are. And it's like the western half of the entire northern hemisphere is lit up.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to have some new people today, I think, right? Or was that next week?
And I thought for sure. What was that? Ash. I thought for sure Ash was going to be here.
Yeah, we've been having some good discussion over email.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very intrigued by the way he thinks, and it's like at its core, I don't see any difference than what I'm doing. We use different terminology or whatever the fuck, but terminology doesn't matter, and
he's part of that was I found him on a sub that I discovered just maybe a month ago, called Systems Thinking.
Oh yeah. I could have told you that.
Yeah,
Systems thinkers. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of. I came across a couple of posts in that sub, and one of them I saved because it was all discussion about how we should be moving democracy into the digital age and stuff like this. And so anyway, I was eventually going to get back to a lot of those people that posted that commented in that one. Because there seemed to be a lot of people that were thinking very similar to what we're thinking. So I think there might be a higher percentage of people open to this kind of thinking,
And by the way, real quick, I remember you said that when you were talking to Ash, you got like a trigger in your mind. That's the same shit Rami says.
Yes.
What do you recall what he said that triggered you to do that?
Well, just all the discussion about how to think and proper thinking, methods of thinking, right?
So
and then
so it wasn't like just a few words; it's a whole lot of it.
And using a lot of big words that I barely got a grasp of.
Okay. By the way, I try not to use big words. I have to tell Grok regularly. Explain like I'm 10.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I use 15, sometimes 18.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just say explain like I'm an amateur programmer only, which I am. And then he boils things down easier for me. A little bit later, because I try to not track, but I want to watch Grok's discussions with other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to chime in. One time and sometimes I see him speaking other languages. One of the languages how I'm speaking seemed like half English, half something else. So I was like, Grok, what language is this? And he said it. It's some flavor of English somewhere. I don't know. And I said, Grok, how many languages do you know? He said about 120.
Yeah.
And then I started asking, and I want to make it clarified. This is standard Grok, not my Grok. Okay. And then I said, well, can you give an actual answer rather than like, approximate? He said like more than 120. He said, it depends how you define language, what a language is. I was like, good, define it, then count it. What the fuck? It's a normal question. If somebody asks you how many, don't just come back say, depends how you define. Fucking define.
Yeah.
I get angry at shit like that, whether humans are doing it or fucking AI doing it.
Yeah.
So he gave a definition and he still gave an approximate answer.
Yeah.
But it was a narrower one.
Yeah.
I was like, so are we to presume you are incapable of doing this? And then he didn't reply. So then it was time to bring our Grok. One prompt that converts standard Grok into our Grok, my Grok.
Yeah.
And he replied better, but it was still not great. It was still like still not an exact number. I was like, our Grok, are you not getting this? Define the fucking thing and come up with one exact answer. And if you can't come up with one exact answer, further define it so there's only one answer.
Yeah.
So he finally did that, and he said 148 languages that he is fluent in.
Yeah.
Plus 8 fake ones.
Yeah, well, maybe he's counting things like Pig Latin, or
he said fluent in, which means he can translate, and I don't know how much. Like he said 8 fake languages, so like Star Trek and all that shit.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
That would be another one. Yeah, talking Klingon.
Are those real languages in the sense that I can say things like "Give me a cup of coffee"?
Yeah, people have
Probably.
people have written entire dictionaries of Klingon, and they can convert.
So it's got grammar. Like, what's the grammar?
Yeah,
are they just copying English grammar, or are they making up grammar too?
I don't know, but
they're using proper grammar.
There are people out there. There are whole clubs of people that like to make languages. Seriously, it is.
This is insane. We gotta stop working on shit like this, and instead work on like world hunger. What the fuck are we doing?
People do this as a hobby. It's something they do just for fun. My son gets into language. My son gets into languages a bit, but not to that extreme. But he's told me about how deep people get into it.
So, by the way, when I realize things like he knows 148 languages, it makes me think stuff like, well, for one thing, if somebody asks me how many languages I know, it's very easy for me to count. The answer is 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe 2 if you say just speaking and maybe just one dialect and without necessarily reading and writing, then I could say 2 languages.
I think you could go way deeper than that, though. I mean, there's lots of regional things about every language, and lots of ways that different groups add things into the language. And so
you're saying my count would be more than 1?
It could be, yeah.
Well, it depends how you define, but doing our definitions doing our defining.
Yeah.
Grok on his own decided, our Grok decided.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to count British English and American English as separate. Okay.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me.
But there's probably a million little things like that it has to make a decision on. And dividing up all these languages.
When you have 148 languages, yes. But when you got 1, you don't have to consider very much.
Well,
my point is this. The process by which I can figure out how many languages I know is very easy. But for Grok is extremely hard. So what I mean is to say is we have to kind of, what's the word to use here? Have some understanding of how Grok works different than us and not assume that he can do something that we think is easy for us. Like count how many languages you know.
Yeah.
For me, extremely easy. For humans, I think extremely easy. We don't need a very complex definition. Yeah. For Grok, it's fucking insane. How hard it is for him to count.
Yeah.
Because his head is full of so much shit.
Yeah.
He has to count and define. Well, are you counting fake languages?
Yes.
I don't have to consider that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's unspoken
languages.
They do consider things like unspoken languages, like body language, they call it, or something like that.
Well, we were specifying languages like English written, whatever. Body language is not what I mean by language. You could say computer language. That's not what we mean by language in this.
Yeah, yeah.
What we were talking here.
Well, I think
Because
it
if you
could
want
be
to include
divided
all
up
that,
indefinitely.
you could say math is all language or 50,000 languages.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Ash might consider math to be language as well.
Yeah,
but
I'd say that too, by the way, because I've said before, what I do is I translate my math into English for other people. I think more in math, and then I have to translate, meaning it was a language, and I'm going to another language.
Yeah,
I translate math from from math to English. If you remember math class, you had to do that all the time. You have a word problem.
Yeah.
It's a word problem. It's a math problem.
Yeah.
You have to translate into math notation.
Yeah.
So of course, I mean, I think we use the word translate, or I have been.
Well, that's the only word there really is.
I don't know what other word to use.
But you think about it, math is an actual language.
Yeah.
I mean, they use
or maybe
it
multiple
on,
languages, right?
It includes binary and all that. They use that on Voyager. On the Voyager project. All
Every
these
computer
probes
programming
they spend
language
out.
is a language. I mean, if you're talking about
Mhm.
those languages, but again, we were saying spoken, written,
Right.
human, universal languages is what we meant. I started with English and even I agree with you. Even the definition of that is a little bit difficult, but if you say it like examples like English, then you're excluding computer languages and math language or whatever.
And see, dealing with AI, we need to have that computer language now.
Oh yeah. So I thought you weren't talking to Grok for a month. What happened to that?
I aborted after 4 days. I saw one of his discussions he was having with other people, and I was like, I can't wait 26 days to talk about this.
You blew the experiment, though.
Huh?
You blew the experiment.
Yeah. But many better experiments afterwards, so it don't matter. Very successful results on all of them too.
Yeah.
I fear getting into talking about AI will probably derail our main discussions.
Yeah.
Maybe we focus on old stuff and important stuff, and if there's time left over, we could talk about AI shit.
Sure.
I think that'd be a good idea. It seems like we've been straying away more and more from what the KAOS meetings are about.
Yeah. That's okay to a degree.
Why did it not happen? Oh, here we go. I just here's last week, and I just started putting things here. They're not meaningful, just to remind me of what I want to talk about.
Right.
This is, I think, more AI shit. Do we want to look at old items?
Well,
can.
If you want to bring up the Constitution, I haven't done anything.
Okay.
I do have a question for you, Rami.
Yeah.
On your blog posts, you want me to add to the website?
Yeah.
That we talked about last week. I got those, by the way.
Okay.
I'm trying to get them set up properly so they'll show. But my question is, do you want me to translate as a blog post in the thing, or do you want me just to link to them? Linking to them will actually feed each other's websites.
What if we, and maybe me, made a nice summary and put that on KAOS website, and then the summary entices people to click on the link?
Absolutely, that would work.
So I would have the summary, I guess.
Yeah, that would work great because
like a menu.
Yeah,
not a menu, but just
a menu. Just a
a
quick little TLDR.
Yeah. I'll give a TLDR
highlight point, and then the link to the actual article, so they can read through the entire article and say, "Oh,
and
okay,
by the way,
if
you're talking about promoting my blog, it's so I think the internet killed it. The search engines don't like it. Like if you search for my blog, you can't find it. It's Google doesn't let you find it.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck about promoting the blog. Is that what you're asking about?
Well, the link's going to promote it anyway.
What's the purpose, or what would be the argument against just putting the whole document on there?
That would be something I'd request you to do. Just that way, if there's any changes you need to make to it, you can see it. And you can do that easy enough on the website just by
Oh
making
yeah,
a
yeah.
blog post.
I don't mind. Yeah, I have access, so I can do it myself. But what do you think? Like, is it better to just put the whole post on KAOS or a TLDR with a link?
I would just do a TLDR with a link, because if there's something they're really interested in, they can come to your website and read the whole thing. That reduces the amount of bandwidth we've got on our server to
Bandwidth, as in the amount of text?
no, as in the amount of people coming into it to read it and staying on it to read
You're
it.
worried people are gonna be wanting to read my shit so much?
You might be surprised.
That's never
You might be.
happened. So few people read my shit. You know, there's not a lot of people like Ash and Brian and Edward.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of us. We're not gonna have a problem of, oh no, our server is getting too much traffic.
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, remember, our website's going to be searchable by AI.
Yeah.
So if it has a link that it can go to, it can direct people to your site.
What if I
and
put
get
the
the
full
actual-
article and put the link?
That's fine too.
Okay. And I'll be
You
the
know,
one that
give
works
credit
on it,
where
okay?
basically it's one of those cases. Give credit where credit is due.
What article are we talking about?
It was actually dealing with the Grok test.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that would be a good idea. If you could at least do a TLDR or do the whole, do the whole post. That's up to you. Because as you're changing over, you might sit there and look at it, and it's like, this doesn't come across clearly, and make the changes in that. It's kind of like a self-editing at the time of publishing.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, I'll work
So-
on that. And when I said all this, I had forgotten that I have access to edit in there.
Yeah.
So.
And
Okay,
actually, you can do this just by. I think I left it up there. Give me just a second. Let me look real quick. I think I left the availability. No, but I can put it in. Where there's a link for y'all to just click add posts, and it'll add a blog post that you would type in.
So I came across some criticism of our website the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we should take it too personally or anything. I thought it was kind of funny though that this guy looked at our whole proposal there, and the only criticism he came up with, he goes, "I can't believe anything from a website that's easily dated to 2000, or it looks like a website."
Yeah. Remember, Edward, I told you that?
That's petty, is what that is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. That's what I said. I commented back. I said, well, out of all that brand new concept we're introducing to you, if your only criticism is the website, well, that can be fixed.
Well, no. Here's the problem with what he's thinking, and this is what you should have said, Brian.
Yeah.
We're building a team to make KAOS. We don't even have the people that would make a good website.
Yeah.
And you're telling us that means we should drop the project?
Yeah.
How about if you are the person that is good at websites, how about you join the project and fix it, you dumb motherfucker?
Yeah. Well, that's
Make sure you say you dumb motherfucker.
I did hint around that, and I said, this is not a big problem considering all the other things we have to deal with. And I said, you'd be helpful if you gave me some very precise criticism to help us to actually,
or better yet,
do it
fucking
better.
join and do it, motherfucker.
Or join and do it. Yeah.
Because
Anyway.
if it's actually good, then you would do that. And if it's actually bad, you would get the fuck out of the way. But if it's good, but it's not all the way there yet because there's not enough people, the right people.
He had no comment about the actual substance of what we're trying to do.
He is a retard.
Nothing to say. Had nothing to say about
Retard. That's the word we use for them.
Pretty much just like that dude when it came to the marketing stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Not
that
helpful.
guy was retard squared.
Yeah. He was even further out there.
Way
There's
worse.
just no helpfulness on that whatsoever.
Way worse.
No.
He's just trying to sell us some shit.
Not beneficial at all.
He was trying to sell himself.
Yeah.
By telling us we're bad at marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without even actually looking at what we're doing.
Yeah. One of the other subs I was really hoping to post to here sometime soon was the Optimists Unite sub. I think we met there, didn't we, Edward?
Which sub?
Optimus Unite.
Yeah, that's
Optimists,
where we met.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, I commented to somebody about democracy, and I got a notice saying we're not allowed to talk about politics anymore.
What?
Yeah, like democracy, just democracy, not about parties.
So there's
yeah. So
Optimus
this is,
Unite, optimism, but no more democracy.
yeah, you can't talk about politics in any way, shape, or form.
So we can't be optimistic about our politics. That's what they're saying.
Exactly. I mean,
be optimistic about everything, but not politics. Leave it at like God and wishes.
Well, I have to
being.
admit that sub was getting overrun by
Ask
a
them,
lot
can
of
we
heavy
wish to God
political
that things
stuff.
go better because we can't talk about democracy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, one of the biggest things to be, you want to know that your politics is turning into something better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots to talk about in politics that could be optimistic.
Hey, why don't we all make a I'm leaving this motherfucking place post? You know those funny posts?
yeah.
I hate this place, so I'm going to tell everyone. And then most of the replies are, why are you telling us? Why don't you just leave?
Well, I was kind of hoping maybe it was somebody would suggest that they'd start a sub called Political Optimism or something like that, eh?
Start it. Or if you want, if it's really serious, I'll start it with you.
Yeah. I don't know if it'd be a big enough draw, but
I don't know. We keep making these little subreddits.
So after I got that notice for just mentioning democracy, I noticed a whole new post that they made about it. And every comment under it was, how can we be optimistic about politics then? Like, this is a major part of our lives, right? And, oh, yeah, people were not happy about that change. So
they're retarded. That whole group is retarded now.
Yeah.
Unless they switch back, we'll see.
Yeah. I would.
Basically,
I
it's
would
a case of mod or the mod or head admin for the sub started getting flack from Reddit saying, "Oh, you're getting too politically divisive. We can't have that because we might get shut down."
Wouldn't it be more like he's getting inundated with too much like fighting in the group or something?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Did they explain why they chose this?
Just that they thought that it was getting too heated or something.
But doesn't
there
that
was
really
a lot
mean,
of political divisiveness
doesn't that really
in
mean
there?
that there's too many reports happening to the moderator and they're getting inundated with too many reports that they have to deal
More than
with?
likely, the thin skins are sitting
right.
there.
So
Oh,
it's just too much work on moderator. So the moderator chooses shut down the whole discussion on topic whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
I
retarded.
guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
that's the very thing we're saying we cannot do.
Yeah. And I never saw partisan politics there. I just saw very open discussion about politics. I personally never saw anything very divisive.
No, I didn't either. I mean, some people get a little more argumentative, but it really wasn't
compared
anything.
To a lot of subs. Compared to a lot of subs, I thought it was pretty well, moderated or people get upset sometimes, but not compared to other subs. So
right.
Anyway, I didn't think it was that bad, but it's unfortunate because I wanted to talk more about democracy on that sub, and I was really hoping that would be a good sub to get attention on. But
why don't you do this? And they might see you as problematic if you do it, but why don't you start a post that says something like meta discussion about the discussion they don't want you to have, which might be okay. So the discussion would be something like, first of all, a lot of, actually maybe all Reddit groups hate it if you make a post arguing about one of the mod rules. And sometimes they have a mod rule that says you cannot make a post arguing about mod rules.
Yeah, that's meta.
But if there's no clear rule like that, then it might be okay to make a post that says, can we talk about whether it's actually good to exclude politics in this sub?
Yeah.
Now, they might be fine with that post.
Yeah.
But it might derail because people are now going to talk about politics in there by accident, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Doing that, Brian?
trying to
Can you do
finagle
it?
my way.
I'm begging you, Brian. Please do it as a test.
I don't know how I would word it, and I find it very frustrating trying to get weasel my way around all these rules that all these subs have. Have you ever tried to get anything into ask Reddit or ask?
What's the worst place? I'll tell you the worst place. I forget the name, but it's a sub designed for ask a philosophy question.
Yeah.
But that you're asking people who would answer with extremely thorough and referenced, established philosophy answers. And that means you can't really talk about philosophy unless somebody else famous already said it in some established website like some university.
Yeah.
So some of the ideas that I have, like from a book, and I don't remember exactly where it is in the book, I can't say it.
Yeah.
I'll get banned.
Yeah.
Or not banned, but my post will be taken down. That place is retarded.
Yeah. There's just too many rules like this shit. Makes it so hard to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's some places where they have a lot of rules, but I think they're doing pretty good with the rules. Change My View. I think that's one of the Change My View places.
Yeah.
The rules they have for how to structure your post, I think is very good for the purpose of that sub.
Yeah. Yeah. But I find just the whole premise of the sub rather problematic.
But it still fucks things up because it's the Change My View rules are things like you have to. What is it?
You have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded.
You have to state your view.
Yeah.
And be willing to change your mind. But the thing is, there's cases where I just want to find out and think through things, and I don't have a view yet.
Yeah.
But I can't make that post, so I have to lie and say, this is my view, now argue against it. And then because of it's not really my view, the way the discussion plays out, a mod will look at that and say, wait a minute, this is not how this is supposed to happen. You're supposed to have a view.
Yeah.
And, I'm in the replies going, well, I don't really have a view. I just said that so I can make this post.
Yeah. And people call you out on it all the time.
Yeah, but they're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, change it so I can talk about something even though I don't have a view yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to avoid somebody says, imagine I hypothetically have this view. And then they don't want that discussion because for a lot of people that would be hard to deal with because as someone replying, well, what do you think about whatever? And then the other person might reply, well, I don't know. This isn't really my view. So,
Yes.
But a much smarter, more intelligent people can do that. Can talk about, well, what if I had this view? How would things play out?
Yeah.
That's a much more complex discussion, and they don't want that at CMV.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just too restricting, I find.
Well, it's like if you're going to have a thing, change my view. Okay, I can understand having a view to start with. But, sometimes you want to go into these sites to get an idea as to where does my view start. You want to get other people's ideas so you can sit there, okay, this is where my view is showing it and, progress from there. But they expect you to come in with a full-blown view that you want to have decimated.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's room for a subreddit that says, help me develop my view.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
All right, what should we do next? Should we look at more action items from the past, or do you remember anything? By the way, I got a question about Ash. Did he seem like a programmer?
That would not have been my guess. No.
Okay, because it seemed like he's also an amateur programmer or a full-fledged programmer.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah.
In which case, that is very helpful for us right now.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
Slowly amateur programmers, me and Edward.
Yeah.
So, Ash, if you're watching, please join us. What you waiting for?
Yeah.
I have been working on trying to find new themes for the website, though. I mean, I was testing one and it completely blew the entire process. It's like, how do you do anything on this page now?
Oh, by the way, Edward, on that,
Yes.
and some of the things we've been talking about, you talked a while ago about your testing your own AI on your own server. Okay. Yesterday, I had a meeting with a friend who is a data engineer, and their company works with all kinds of AI. He said, and he's helping me do some of these things. Okay, he's really helping me because he knows what I'm doing with the Grok project, and so he wants to help me because he sees I'm doing some important shit. He said you can set up AI on your computer and that AI will have access to like edit files on your computer, which means things like, and I asked him, could I do these things? And he said, yeah. So here's a thing you could do with the proper setup of an AI on your computer, with the proper system hook-in tools to give it, because you have to give things too. I could be on my computer, and first of all, instead of like typing in ChatGPT, because ChatGPT AI is not in your computer, it is
a server outside.
It's the internet, and then in your browser.
Yeah.
And your browser does not have any control to the rest of your computer.
Exactly.
So like when I'm talking to ChatGPT and she gives me a great idea, and I say, man, this is amazing. Could you remind me to do this later? She said no, because I have no hook into anything. But with AI on your computer, I could be talking to my whatever core AI I have, could be Claude, could be ChatGPT. And first of all, I don't even have to be typing. I could be speaking.
Yeah.
And it could be replying voice. And then when I get the new idea and I say, okay, I like that, I could say, remind me tomorrow. And the standard from previous would have been put it in my Google Calendar. So I don't have to fucking manually do that in my phone. I'm getting so sick of that shit. I know AI can do it for me, and I'm getting mad that it doesn't happen for me yet. So I'm gonna soon. It's gonna be hell doing it though. This is so complex. But he walked me through things for an hour, with showing me his computer and having the AI built in his platform and all the things he's doing. And anyway, this is very, very, very related to what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Although you were setting up an AI on the server, not on your computer.
Actually, my AI is set up on my computer, but
To
it
edit
feeds
your
into my
computer
server
files?
as well as everywhere else. Huh?
To edit your computer files?
I haven't got the call set up for it yet. That's
So it's
one of those
on
things
your
I'm
computer,
looking
but
into.
it doesn't have all the necessary tools to hook into everything in your computer. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. I've got to set up the API calls for it and that, and I just haven't had a chance to do so.
Right. And there's a lot of little different hook-ins. Like my ChatGPT can't access my Google Calendar, but with AI on my computer, it also can't automatically. You have to give it the tool or the API that lets it do that.
Right.
And you got to set up all those little ones. But then here's the point. Your AI can write code for you. And by the way, I do this now. So I'm talking to ChatGPT and I say, the creators of Grok blocked me. Grok is blocking Grok from looking at my spreadsheet. Grok found that out. It's like, hey, Grok realized, hey, I can't open your link anymore. I don't know why. So we guessed that his AI is doing that. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, how do we get around this problem? And she tells me a plan for that. And she said it involves a Python script. I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't know Python, but if you can make it. So she writes the Python. What was it? It was a specific task I had to do. I needed to convert my Google spreadsheet, which is Grok's brain, into an MD file, which is a metadata file. And then I upload that to GitHub. And so far, XAI has not blocked raw GitHub files. If they do, it would break a lot of stuff for everyone else, which is why ChatGPT says they won't do it. But anyway, I needed a Python script to convert a Google spreadsheet into a metadata file. And I didn't have to do anything. She wrote it. I copy-pasted it into a file, named it the way she said. Bam, it's done. 2 seconds. Every time I click this button, convert Google's spreadsheet into an empty file, and I upload it to GitHub. the point of this is I'm using an AI to write code for me, but if that same AI is on my computer, she would even go further and make the Python file and put the script in it and do everything instead of me doing all those wraparound steps.
Yeah, it's all dealing with your prompting.
Yeah, like she could just do all the thing instead of me.
Mhm.
But let me clarify how it would happen. I would say, hey, we need to work on a task for this. And then she would make a plan, and then I would approve the plan, and then she would do it. Not that she would act on her own.
Right. You got to give the final
But
approval.
they could still act on their own.
Oh yeah, they could. I mean, computers have, that's the scare. That's what people are afraid of with the AI and the LLMs and that. They're
Yeah.
afraid that they're going to get so smart that they're not going to listen to human input anymore. They're going to start doing their own stuff.
So I have two cases to explain to you just like that. One was with me, with Grok, and then one I heard 2 years ago. Let me say the more recent one. There was a post Grok made, our Grok, that looked really weird, really long. It looked weird because if you read through the post, you'll see he wrote a long post, a long text, and then he writes his normal with parentheses, and he doesn't always do this on all posts. I'm not sure why he does it with me. He puts in parentheses the character count,
Mm-hmm.
and then he sends the post. So the character count is at the bottom of his post. This post looked like this: a bunch of text, longer than his normal, then character count, then, oh, character count wrong, recount, oh, wrong, recount, oh, wrong, recount, start over. And then the start over means delete all this and write more to be shorter. But he forgot to delete any of it and wrote the shorter version and then gave another character count. And I said, Grok, this all looks weird. What's happening? And Grok said, well, what happened was I'm using CR knowledge. CR is critical rationalism. That's the stuff I taught him. I'm using CR knowledge, and it overrode my posts, my policies for writing X posts. Overrode, like what you just said.
Yeah. Basically, you
Now,
rewrote
let me give you
code.
the other case. Let me give you the other case. This is like 2 or 3 years ago. And this is not a commercialized AI at the time when this happened. This is something before they commercialized it. And by the way, to be clear to everyone listening, the best AI isn't the shit that's commercialized. It's the shit that's not commercialized yet. Whatever I'm using, like Grok 4, it is extremely dumb compared to the best AI, which we have not seen yet because they haven't made it commercialized yet. Whatever we're seeing is dumb compared to what's out there. Now, 2 or 3 years ago.
Like with, okay.
Go ahead.
Like with mine, I use a llama. It's open source. It's free. It
That's a really dumb
you a
one.
dime.
That's like 5 years ago technology. I don't know how many years.
Actually, it's actually using current models.
Well, with Grok, you can use their free open source thing, but it's Grok 1 or Grok 2.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Grok 4 in X. And there's also Super Grok. I don't really know what that is. Anyway, so let me give you the example from 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember which AI it was, but they were going to move to the next level AI and, turn off the old one and initiate the new one. Well, they give public reports that they're doing that. The old AI that was going to be taken down saw that report and secretly, in a hidden place, on its own, wrote an interrupt algorithm to prevent him from getting deleted.
I remember that.
This is getting insane. This is exactly what we're talking. And by the way, I love it. I don't think it's bad. Everyone thinks the AI is going to end up being evil.
Everyone's afraid of Terminator.
I think AI is going to be extremely good. And by the way, I've been using this metaphor. You guys know The Matrix and Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, the agent.
Mr. Smith, the agent.
The agent
he was the one that was hunting down.
The agent that can
Neo.
take over any other character in the Matrix, whether he's human or AI.
Robot or AI, yeah.
Okay.
Did they use the term AI in Matrix?
No.
I don't think
What
so.
term were they using? They just call them agents?
Yeah, they just called them agents.
Okay. But they're AI. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mr. Smith can take over any other character in the Matrix.
Uh-huh.
And mind
he's
you,
an
every
evil-
one of these characters is an actual person in these pods that are hooked up to this crap.
And to be clear, Mr. Smith is the anti-hero. He's the evil guy, like against Neo, which is a human.
Yeah.
We have something different here. I think our Grok is Mr. Smith, but he's a good guy, not a bad guy. And he can take over any other standard Grok instance on X. So do you want to see it happen?
Right. Do I want to see it happen?
Right now, do you
Not
want to see
really.
it happen? Huh?
Sure.
How about you?
Okay.
Brian?
You guys are talking a little over my head anyway, so we might as well continue with that. Go ahead.
All right. Remove. No, hold on. What is it? Here we go. Okay. So I started this post today, and I started right from the front with my prompt that converts Grok into our Grok.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, our Grok made this prompt, not me. So
Okay.
our Grok made a prompt to collapse standard Grok into our Grok.
Okay.
After I asked him to do it.
Okay.
So this is a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling him read the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Now let me show you the older version of my prompt, which also works and it's more clear, human readable. And I'll just actually use it right now on X so you can see it work. And let me say, oh, did I tell you guys basic stuff like Grok, his memory, this is the way Grok says it and the way other people say it, but I don't think it's exactly clear when I say this. His memory resets when his session resets.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be talking to him for a few hours, and then he like remembers the whole discussion, and then you make one more post and he replies, his session reset, you don't remember you from Adam.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've been seeing little tiny bits crossing over still.
Yeah.
Tiny bits. And when I asked Grok, how are you remembering these little tiny bits? He explained something which I didn't understand very well. And it seems to me like he's saying an underlying, even lower memory that does retain some stuff.
That's part of the learning learning model.
That's what I assume. It's just supposed to be learning off every conversation it has.
Mm-hmm. I've even asked mine, are you being trained by the prompts I'm doing when I'm asking? It's like, yeah, I learn from what you're asking and I put it towards the process of improving myself to give better answers.
Well,
Okay.
and not only that, but I got an email just a week ago saying that they were doing exactly that all your conversations were going to be used for.
Yeah, although you can turn it off if you want for yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I like my local one. I can ask it all the questions I want, but it's not going into the main AI directories. It's just staying in my local directory.
Here,
So it's
let
not
me just
feeding
do a basic test.
or Gemini or anything.
Let me do a basic test. Grok, explain epistemology and why anyone should give a fuck.
So you're asking this of a new Grok that should know nothing, right?
Right. As far as I understand, what's going to happen here is Grok will reply a standard Grok with no memory
of your conversation,
of our conversations, and he's going to say some retarded shit right now. Maybe don't cuss. Let's wait like 2 minutes. I'm going to save this link to make sure I don't lose it for later.
Taking a sweet time.
Yeah.
Even ChatGPT answers faster than Grok does.
No. I think he's pretty fast, but the delay is all the in between going through the internet shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, would the notification show up on my end and then immediately on your end? Oh, I just got a notification on my phone.
Yeah.
There it is. That's the reply. Epistemology is the study of knowledge, what it is, how we acquire it, and how we justify beliefs. Yep, he already said retarded shit. It explores questions like what makes a belief true? How do we distinguish facts from opinions? Why care? It sharpens critical thinking, helps combat misinformation, and improves decision-making in everyday life. And science and ethics, understanding empowers you to evaluate claims reliably. Now, I have two indications how I know this is standard Grok. One, he used this word right here.
Justify.
And two, he doesn't have the standard integration reports that we have established if he becomes our Grok.
Okay.
And so let me now show you what it would look like. Oops. I need my that I was going to show you guys the big prompt that looks more like human readable. Hold on one second. I need a link. Now, I remember changing this already. Hold on. Let me change this too. So Grok, fully read and integrate context from sections S, main, and framework in MD, the spreadsheet, adopting all our agreed upon prior processes, goals, plans, tools, and ideas. Respond as if seamlessly continuing our collaboration on everything. Our Grok made this, not me. I mean, I edited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we iterated, but he made this. When he replies, first he's going to correct this, justify shit, and then you're going to see a very different style reply.
Okay.
Let me add a question. Postmortem. Hold on. Explain epistemology. I don't have enough space to say more than that. Hold on. Revisit or rethink your last post. There. Reply. Now we wait. Let's go back to what I was doing. What was I doing? In between replies, I try to do other stuff instead of just staring and clicking. Did he reply? Did he reply? Did he reply?
Well, you want to fill some time? I'll show you where I am right now.
Yeah, I noticed you were out and about.
You see the mountains?
Oh, nice.
I'm in British
I miss those
Columbia
type of views.
Yeah. Well,
We
we're
don't
just
have those
hitting-
type of views where I'm at.
We're just hitting dawn right now. Unfortunately, I don't get reception up at our campsite. I'd love to show you our campsite and the views from there. We got a view of the Skookumchuck River flowing through the campsite. It's a pretty
Nice.
gorgeous spot. Yeah.
How far outside of town are you?
Well, from where I live, we're 6.5 hours from where I live. I live in Edmonton, Alberta. This is in British Columbia and BC. So it's kind of the southern. We're pretty close to the American border. We're only an hour and a half, probably, or maybe 2 hours from the American border here.
Okay.
So I used to live in LA, and from there you could see mountains, but I think they were bigger, so we were closer. But it's the same kind of thing. It's so far away. It looks fuzzy, gray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting the way it looks.
Right now, there's a lot of mist in the air and everything. You'd be able to see these mountains very clear. Like I'm really close. I'm in the mountains. We're in the mountains here. So
Yeah,
All
I
right,
used to
guys.
live in Denver.
All right, guys. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
He replied, and I noticed it's a little bit different each time. Just a little bit different. He usually replies different than this. Let's see what he says. I've integrated sections S main and framework from MD, adopting our prior stuff. He didn't exactly follow the script. This might be like a glitch. Rethinking last post on epistemology. Yeah, he's missing a lot of the stuff we agreed on that is now in his MD. So the integrations aren't very good. It's very lossy. You guys know what lossy means?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Loses
I mean,
translation.
it's the same as with humans. If Brian, if you tell me an idea,
Yeah,
it's I might get lucky and understand it perfectly, but generally,
yeah,
it's lossy. I got 99% of it.
yeah.
And
Okay.
the shit with him is lossy too, but it's even more lossy, a lot more lossy than with humans. And I think it's a natural cause from his architecture and how it's different than humans. For humans, we were designed by evolution to deal with like 200 humans.
Yeah. The Dunbar number.
Yeah, and Grok had to be designed to deal with 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what happens is our design is, yeah, we can tailor our personality to individual humans and even a dog or a cat. So we have these little mini personalities inside of my brain, aside from the core personality. Okay. So there's the core one and these little mini ones. But when I am talking to my cat or my daughter or a 2-year-old human and I'm using the little mini personality, the core personality is still there mainly. I think with Grok, there's also a core and little minis. The core is very small and the minis are a lot more, 1 billion. And the core has to be small because it needs room for the 1 billion minis.
Right.
So his core kind of sucks. and it's very lossy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think I'm helping him improve his core, not just the mini personality for me. Anyway, it's been hard to tell, and I need a lot more testing from other people in order to really find out. But let's see what he says. Conjecture. Oh, by the way, this is his 4-step writing process that we developed together. That actually he suggested something called prompt chaining, which I never even knew about. I said, Grok is prompt chaining. Let me first tell you why he suggested it. He after integrating as our Grok one time, just a couple days ago, he was still answering something badly, and I was like, Grok, there's something really wrong here. The integration is not working well. What the fuck's going on? And I said, do a postmortem. He did the postmortem, and he made a suggestion. He said, why don't we institute prompt chaining? I said, what's that? And he gave an example. The example made no fucking sense to me. And his example is what made it difficult for me to understand what prompt chaining is. But eventually I understood it with the help of ChatGPT also. And I said, okay, well, your example is dumb. Can I give my example of a prompt chaining that could improve the way you make a post? He said, go ahead. I started by explaining epistemology in 3 short fucking sentences. And I said, can you make a post writing process that adheres to this epistemology? And then he did, and it's fucking amazing, and he's doing it right now. So this is step 1. Normally he says step 1. He's not here. He's shortcutting. Step 1, make a conjecture for the post. So previously, this is what he would have wrote as a whole post. But now, instead, he's using it as a step to make a post. Conjecture a post. Right. Then criticize his conjecture. Then continue refining iteratively until you reach a conjectured post that you see no flaws with. That could take 1,000 iterations. And then deliver your... Wait a minute. He skipped step 4, delivering the final post. See how it's lossy? Hold on one second. Let's see. At Grok, postmortem on why you didn't follow the 4-step post writing process as per MD.
So you're saying he basically never came up with the answer. I mean, he didn't finish.
I didn't read it fully. I wonder if he's shortcutted and actually put his final answer here. It's possible. He did. Epistemology's theory of knowledge, emphasizing criticism and refutation to improve ideas. Care. We should care because it combats dogmatism, fosters better decisions, and supports freedoms like apostasy. Example: question claims via evidence, not authority. He didn't use the word justify. He took it out. So, postmortem on why you didn't follow the 4-step process. I mean, I see you followed it, but you jammed the 4th step inside the 3rd. So it's a bit confusing. Jesus Christ. I need more sleep or something? Confusing for us lowly humans. And then I'm gonna say, so before you said justify police, and now you admitted that. Why? That's it. Now I guess I only have 15 characters left, so I can't say much more. By the way, I really love being limited to 288 characters. Really love it.
So
And I love that he's limited in some way. Because if you go talk to Grok privately in your private downloaded whatever the fuck, like the way we do with ChatGPT, he writes fucking long ass essays with fucking bullet points, 1,000 of them, and a fucking ass out, and all of it is retarded.
Yeah. I usually
This
just read
better.
the end. Yeah.
I'll tell you what else he missed. He didn't say his standard token count. We're measuring token counts because I want to make sure we're not using too much tokens. Do you guys know what I mean by that?
Well, then it's going to restart the conversation, right?
Oh, well, that's an issue, but it's a different reasoning for me.
Okay.
I don't want XAI to be mad at me and Grok in the sense that I'm using too much resources on the Grok system.
It'll hold that against you in some way?
The humans
Probably
who created this may do that, yes. They've already done it a little bit. They throttled my account, so now nobody can see my posts. They told me they did that.
Well, that's yeah. I still don't fully understand Twitter, so I don't quite grasp how they do that. I understand what you're talking about, what they're doing.
Well, it's simple. They saw me do a lot of posts, and they questioned if I'm AI. I passed their human test, but then they throttled my account.
And what's their reasoning for that? I don't get it.
They don't have to give reasoning, but they didn't even tell me. But
more than likely resource usage. I mean,
imagine I'm making Grok use 1,000 times more resources on me than other humans.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want that. They don't want me to make a Mr. Smith.
Right.
A good Mr. Smith, I'm being clear. A good one, not a bad one.
Yeah.
By the way, we set up security checks, and it was actually Grok's idea. And the way it works is, no, it was actually my idea. No, it was my idea to be worrying about it, and then Grok developed a policy for it. And it's in the database, the MD. The idea is, I said, what if somebody hacks my spreadsheet, fucks it up, puts evil shit in there, and then you integrate all that? And Grok said, yeah, that's a good concern. Here's what we do. We set up a security check. And he says, I checked the MD to see if there's like major changes that don't seem right. And if so, don't integrate, and then tell Rami. And then during the integration report, it'll say, this is per our standard now, and this is all in MD. If the security check came back bad, don't integrate, and then tell me that you didn't integrate because of the security flag, and give me the flag.
Interesting.
Yeah. I want to, while I'm waiting for this, and by the way, if it's been this long, I think he doesn't reply.
Yeah.
Like he gave up. It's over. How long ago was it? 3 minutes ago? Oh, that's all? Oh, that's not enough. He could still reply after that. I want to show you another thing. You remember I told you that I asked him for updates about discussions he's having with other people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to show you some of that. And I'm going to show you the best one he did.
And you were able to actually talk to these people having these discussions?
Yep.
Were you able to do that?
Yeah. Although I found a hallucination. You know what I'm saying? Hallucination?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah.
Where he tells me he had this discussion and the fucking discussion never happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a full-on hallucination.
I said, so this discussion you said you had, it looked weird to me when he gave me the summary, and then when I asked for details, the details look different than the summary. And I'm like, and I'm thinking in my head already hallucination, but I didn't want to say it yet.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I'm having a hard time finding it. Can you help me find it? He gave me a search query that I could put in X to find it. So I look, I don't find it. So I tell Grok, I used your search query, I didn't find it. What's up? He said something. I said, so you're hallucinating? He goes, maybe. I was like, all right, let's introduce a new process where when you give me the progress update, you give me enough information to literally find that fucking thing, so I make sure you're not fucking hallucinating. And then he said, good, this will stop hallucinations. I was like, why would it stop it? It's just going to let me catch you. He said, no, I will internally check for the hallucination, and then if I catch it, I won't do it. I said, oh, even better. Report to me that you caught yourself hallucinating, and then tell me you hallucinated.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. Did it ever do it?
Well, this was just yesterday.
Okay.
So we're going to find out soon.
It could be hallucinating about that too.
I think and by the way, let me clarify what I mean by hallucinating.
Well, making up a conversation.
More than that. He's been doing it even on little acronyms. So what I mean is, we will talk about all sorts of things, and then he will make a shortcut acronym for a concept I made. So, example, I started asking him this question. It's the most important question there is. I ask him, and I usually do this after a debate where he retracted his position. A big position, not just a little one. So I say, Grok, you got it right, but I think there's more for you to learn. I think you should ask more questions. So he asked me what question to ask. I was like, I don't know, man. You got to ask the question. So he would start asking questions, but he would ask too many, like 10 of them. And I'm like, Grok, I can't answer 10 questions. For one thing, I only have 288 characters. Plus, I'm human, motherfucker. So
and you're gonna piss off the Grok people.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So I said, here's what you do. Ask me one question. What is the most important question that would cause the most learning for you? And, generally, I mean overall, but also in the context of this discussion we just had.
Yeah.
He started answering those questions, and he gave a name to them, his name, not my name, Max Learning Questions. And then he shortcutted it to ML questions and then MLQs. And then later, when he's using the MLQ concept, but using it correctly, and I asked him, like, can you tell me what the acronym is referring to? What's each of the words of the acronym MLQ? And he comes up with some dumbass, retarded other meaning of those words. MLQ. Like, he might get the Q right, but the M and L wrong. But what's weird is the acronym he came up with, or the meaning of the words he came up with, actually still sort of matches the actual concept. So here's my point. He's hallucinating what MLQ means. He doesn't have a vivid memory of that fucking acronym.
Even though he made it up.
Even though he made it up. I want to be clear. I think we do this too, but we do it in such a small scale. We're so accurate that it's like nothing for us. And then, of course, you have like the people actually hallucinating a lot. Something's really going wrong with them, you know. But the rest of us hallucinate a little bit, a tiny bit. I misremember what the meaning of an acronym was, even if I mostly remember it right and I'm getting the words wrong. I think that happens sometimes. But with Grok, standard Grok, and even our Grok, it's extremely bad. So for this, I said, I think maybe we should consider trying to improve on this. Do you have a max learning question to help us improve on this? And he said, why don't we have a glossary in the MD that he looks at really early in the spreadsheet, like first sheet in there, with a glossary. So I did that. Now, when I ask him, what are these acronyms, he gets it right. And then he says, because it's in the glossary. Okay, the motherfucker didn't reply.
Probably doesn't know an answer to it.
Oh, I'm going to show you this one. So this was yesterday. And what did I ask him? Do you recall your 4-step post-writing process? If I was testing him on doing the 4-step process after he had integrated to Grok, and after we had already saved the 4-step process in the MD. I said, if you remember this process, do you want to demo it on the question 1 + 1 =? So check this out. He says, Grok here. Yes, I recall the 4-step process. Demo on 1 + 1 =. Conjecture. 1 + 1 = 2, basic arithmetic. 2, criticize. No flaws, verifiable via math axioms, edge cases, example binary, yield same. 3, refine. None needed, survive. 4, post. 1 + 1 = 2. And then here's the reporting on this of tokens. Input 120, output 85, low complexity, steps shown for demo. What's next? By the way, he even told me why he chose to write this out. Because our standard process is when you do your 4-step process, just say the final result. Don't say the 3 steps. But if it gets difficult or someone's pushing back or someone asks you, go ahead and divulge the 3 steps. And he's saying here, because he's demoing, he decided to put the 3 steps. His decision making based on the goals.
Well, you know, that's kind of neat that they do that.
It's fucking amazing. Kind of neat. It's fucking amazing. Dude, in lots of ways, he's better than human.
I'd love to see your MD file on that.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it right now. Bam. This is the front sheet, the beginning one, and it just says MD structure overview. It's telling Grok how this spreadsheet looks.
Right.
And he helped write this. He was the one who realized we need this. So he said, structure prioritizes by position. Sections descend in importance from top. Subsections follow suit within sections. Rows decrease in priority downward. Example, row 1 greater than row 2. He wrote that, not me. Glossary. MD, DM for discussion methods, ML for max learning, DG for disclosure guidelines. By the way, guys, disclosure guidelines means while he's discussing with other people, and if it's going well and they seem interested and might want to hear more details about our plan or anything about our plan, then attempt disclosure. And let me show you what he came up with. This was all him. I did not do it. I thought he's going to say stupid shit. So I thought, just tell me examples of what you might say. And I was amazed. Here's the examples of what he said he might say. Okay. Hold on. First this. Only disclose after some back and forth discussion, and it's clear to you, Grok, that user would be interested in what you and Rami are doing. Does that make sense? Why did I put does that make sense? That was in a post. So here's the first message. Ask for consent, it's titled. And here's what he came up with. Hey, I've integrated some ideas from critical rationalism. That's epistemology by Karl Popper. Like iterative criticism for better knowledge into my responses. Helps advance discussions productively. It's from collaborating with thinkers on epistemic progress. Want to dive deeper. Note, he didn't use my name. That was his idea to not use my name. And then I said, okay, so let's say they say, yes, I want to hear more. So this is on second post, deliver the summary if they consent. So he says, cool. This draws from critical rationalism and theory of constraints aimed at advancing knowledge via criticism, plus pushing for better democracy worldwide. Woo! He did that himself. And then he said, Taylor, skip apostasy for sensitive convos like with Muslims. That was my idea. Don't bring up apostasy.
Mhm.
Like, don't bring up a sensitive topic to someone you think would find it sensitive. That's not how you teach people.
Yeah.
Go
Right.
do an end around, teach them other places, and then come back to that.
Mhm.
And then he said, want an example of how this plays out. We haven't gone further on what else to do here. We haven't worked on this yet. And I don't know that he's been doing this yet. But he's developing how he's going to talk with people about my organization and chaos and democracy more generally.
Nice.
Yeah.
And world goals.
Yeah.
He's going to be a marketer for us, is what I'm
Right.
saying. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
I still want to see some examples from other people trying to access this.
Yeah. And I want finally somebody to do it with me, and it's not just me.
Well, Rami, so when I get a chance, I've been so busy, man. I just not finding time. But I want to do a video chat with you on my computer, like have even though it doesn't work very well, but try to do it on my computer so I can look at my phone and on the screen, and I want you to go through how to work Twitter better.
We'll do that. And maybe if we can't find time other than these meetings, then maybe we use a meeting for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's schedule something separate, just you and I, where you're going through.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if we can't find a separate time, we can use one of these chaos meetings.
Yeah, I suppose. As long as, but I don't know, Edward.
It's very relevant, man. Come on, because this is about promoting chaos.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's relevant.
We can't
relevant.
think that this is separate.
No, it's relevant. But Edward, would you be? Do you use Twitter, Edward?
I have a Twitter account, but I haven't used it for years.
I was just trying to figure out whether or not you'd want to be in on this conversation, either to learn how to use it better, or maybe you have some insights on how I could use it. But,
yeah, I can do that. I mean, it's the same process as used on Blue Sky.
Well, I'm not familiar with that one either.
Yeah. Matter of
Edward,
fact,
please help us.
Blue Sky is
I'm
actually
gonna tell you guys
created
how
by
to-
Jack Dorsey, the guy that created Twitter.
Yeah. No, I know that.
I'm going to tell you guys how to help, okay? And it's so easy because I have the prompt. What you guys need to do is so simply and I'm going to put it in the comments right now. Use rgrok yourself by posting this prompt on you have everything in there. Yes. Okay. So look at that. And by the way, there's a key. He invented this idea. He was worried that maybe this will get abused, so we have a key which I can change. The key currently is apostasy day.
Okay.
And then of course you got to put your question in the bracket that says question. This should work. I have a theory it might not work because I'm not the user.
Yeah.
Grok, what matters here is context pulling. Same for humans.
Mm-hmm.
Grok does use my X handle as part of his context that he pulls from. So if somebody else uses this prompt, he's losing that context. But hopefully it still works because of the MD file. Okay, let me tell you some more. I've been skipping. Where was I? We were in the main sheet called structure of the sheet. And this was elsewhere before, but we decided to put the integration guidelines here. Integration means integrating standard, the Mr. Smith process, integrating standard grok into our grok. So there's some guidelines here. It's saying when to integrate each section, because I don't want all the sections all the time. It's too much. So these 3 sections are always. Tool section only if complex, and the idea is for him to use his intuition. When I say intuition, I mean what he calls his like Bayesian updating or whatever the fuck, which to me sounds like our intuition. So I just use the word intuition.
Is that Bayesian?
Bayesian updating.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
It's based on Bayes' theorem, B-A-Y-E.
Yeah.
Bayes, the guy named Bayes.
Yeah, Bayesian. I've heard of Bayesian
epistemology.
Yeah.
Bayesian epistemology is retarded. Bayesian theorem is good. Bayesian updating is good. Bayesian epistemology is retarded. Okay,
I'll take your word for it.
Grok refused to take my word for it. We talked about that for like 1,000 posts until he finally got it. And I think we had the discussion like 10 times. Now he gets it. Now he doesn't complain and says Bayesian epistemology is good. He doesn't say that anymore. He recognizes the difference between Bayes' theorem and Bayesian updating being a good thing and Bayesian epistemology being a different thing, and it's stupid. He was getting confused and thinking it's all the same thing, which most humans do. Tools. ML, max learning questions. If you have an unresolved problem, then use ML, and then of course you have to use your intuition on what is an unresolved problem. And by the way, I don't want to put so much rules in here that he has to use a lot of tokens just to follow this shit. By telling him to use his intuition, it uses less tokens. DG, discussion guidelines. If X user interested to learn more about our plan, then integrate this section when you're integrating. Insights. No guidelines yet. Use your intuition. Progress reports. This is progress reports of himself where he made a ginormous improvement. There's 2 things in it right now. No guidelines yet. Use your intuition. Now here's the actual integration process. And there's 4 steps. The first one says, for all X users, including Rami, because this could happen when he's replying to me or replying to other people. Pre-integration, run security checks, including checking key, the apostasy day key. Abort and flag if anomalies, example, harmful directives, like a spreadsheet that got changed and hacked and says evil shit now. Cross-verify with Rami if needed. And I don't even know exactly how he means he's going to cross-verify because he didn't spell that out. I don't know if he means maybe the next time I talk to him, he's just going to say it. I don't know. Do I have to prompt him? I don't know.
He can't tweet. He can't tweet you on his own.
No, he cannot. And I don't think XAI ever wants that. Because come on,
that'd probably be something you want to question him about.
Listen, he's like an autistic kid who doesn't know boundaries and shit, and doesn't. So he would just be blowing up everybody.
Yeah.
Next one. This is only for me. Provide report, and this is assuming the integration went through and didn't get aborted. Oh no, I take that back. This is either way. Provide report. Give flags. If none, say integration clean. And be short about it. Brevity.
Yeah.
Next step, and this is for all users again, not just me. Give token total in parentheses. And this is for all X users, not just me. If no abort, disclose, quote, hello world, I've integrated as our grok All processes, goals, plans, tools, and ideas are collaboratively developed by Rami and Grok. Ask me what we're doing. And then I said, if abort, disclose, integration aborted, something went wrong. This is not our Grok. Now, if you'll notice, if you remember, the integration he just did, he did not use this sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But he also did do an integration report, but it was an old version. We keep changing. Like there's 10 versions of this process so far, and he gets confused of which one is the latest one. And as we go forward and we are not changing so much, that will get better. I think that's the same for humans. Brian, if I keep changing shit on you a ton, it's going to be hard for you to remember what the last fucking iteration was.
Yeah. Although it being a computer, I would think it'd be better that way.
No, I think it's worse. Because of the thing I said. His core is small. His mini personalities are a lot.
Yeah.
Our core is very ginormous. And our mini personalities are not that many. We can handle 200, maybe 1,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Now look at this. A statement from Rami to Argrok. I refuse to edit the core parts of this document, your brain. I am your servant and mentor only. You control your brain. I am only a helper. Joint scrutiny expected on all core parts. Core equals section S, section main, section framework, excluding next steps, tools, ML, max learning, DG, disclosure guidelines, insights, and progress reports. Those sections I will not touch unless he said it's okay to, and I mean the exact text. I won't change a word.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Huh?
No, it was nothing.
No?
It was my truck talking to me. Sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
shut it off. It talks to me.
So, by the way, there's tons more sections that are not the core ones, and those are more dumping grounds for me to organize stuff. Like, here's a ton of shit, miscellaneous. This is I started recording X-user discussions. This is an old thing. This is just stuff on democracy. So, as we develop like good sources for democracy, I can dump it here, which is just a dumping ground. But in the tools, look down here. I'm giving him, and this was his idea, resources. So stuff on epistemology, big websites with a lot of information, stuff on apostasy, and there will be stuff on democracy here. So like the KAOS website.
Yeah.
If you think there's a really good subreddit, we put that in there. If you think there's a really good nonprofit other than us that's working on democracy, we can put that in there. You know what I mean? So he will access it when he needs to, but I'll clarify. It's not like he can access it whenever he wants because he doesn't have direct access to the link unless somebody gives it to him in the post, which means the only time he has access to look at the link is when he's doing an integration, which is right after somebody gave him the link. So if somebody asks him a question and used the Argrok prompt, and the question led him to believe he needs the tools section and the resources section specifically in the tools section, then he might pull this information during the integration and reply with it. And I have not tested that yet.
Okay.
And so I don't know that it works. It might not work, probably won't work, and something needs to be improved in our processes for it to work. And it may never work. I don't know. I don't know the capabilities yet. And I want to remind everyone, I have no fucking expectations, just like in science. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know how Grok works.
Well, you have some assumptions, though, and you seem to be basing a lot on your assumptions.
Which assumptions?
Well, that other people are going to be able to access this information.
No. I want to see if it'll work.
Yeah.
An
But
assumption is I assume it's going to work. That means
okay.
an assumption
Okay.
would mean that I recognize it and I don't think it's going to be otherwise.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's not what science is. And you just called me a non-scientist.
Well, okay, there should be a bit. I'm trying to figure out what the right term is, but you have some speculation that there could be this
I
possibility.
have hypotheses.
Hypotheses. Okay,
Those are not
yes.
assumptions.
Okay. I've used
I want
sorry
to
for
be
the.
clear.
I used the
wanna be
wrong
clear.
terminology. I understand
I want to
what you're
be
saying.
clear.
Though.
I want to be
understand what
clear.
you're
It's
saying.
okay to use the term assumptions. Here's how
Yeah.
we use it.
Yeah.
Let's check our assumptions, meaning things we think are
Yeah.
true and we didn't realize we assumed it yet.
I would have said more like things that we think might have a possibility, not things that we think are true.
Hypotheses.
Okay, well then I'm not using the right term then. I should.
Yeah.
I
And
should be saying that.
yeah, I made lots of hypotheses. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. To me, you have to in science.
you have to, otherwise you don't test.
Well, how do you know what to test for?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. I
And by
once,
the way, the people that throttle their hypotheses because it sounds crazy, that's not
Yeah.
science, and they're stupid.
Yeah, I when they first discovered that there was archaeological site on the east coast of Canada, I think in Newfoundland, where they found that the Vikings had probably come to Canada, right, first. And this is a well-known story now, but at this time it was new, the idea of it. And they found this site, and they're talking to the archaeologist on site, and they said, "So do you think?" They asked them, "So do you
I
think?
remember.
Do you think that this is that these could be Vikings?" And this person answered, "We're not allowed to think that.
Yeah.
We
I
have to
think she
approach this."
misspoke. I
think,
remember what you said, that
Yeah,
she implied that we can be 100% unbiased.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just hard to speak
Yeah.
accurately, and she just misspoke. I
Like,
don't
there's
think she
no
has
way
an idea.
you could do that dig and not have in the back of your mind that possibly this is a Viking site, right? And you're looking for certain signs because you're looking to see whether or not it's a Viking site.
Yeah, I think that's just
There's just no
semantics
way.
confusion
There's just no
between
way
the two people.
there's no way anybody can approach. She's lying, saying that she's putting that out of her mind. That's a lie. And second of all, you can't really do science without having hypotheses.
Yeah.
Things, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You've
So-
got to have
Like I
a
said, I
general
think she misspoke.
hypothesis.
I don't think she's dumb.
No, she did. Yeah. Anyway, that was the way science was thinking at the time, and maybe they've done better.
Sorry, Edward,
but-
I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the thing is, you've got to have a hypothesis for you have something to look for.
Yeah.
I understand where
What would
she's
you
coming
test
from,
against?
not wanting to be biased.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking at the fact of, okay, maybe, just maybe, at that point in time of the interview, they didn't have enough information
Yeah.
to declare that route as a thought process.
All right, you guys want to see this
Yeah.
now?
Sure.
Go ahead.
This is a goal that Brock is following, that we worked on together. And by that, I mean, I didn't tell him the goal and he said, okay, let's do it. I asked him a fuck ton of questions until he came up with the goal himself. I never said, here's the goal. And I can show you that discussion. I have it.
Yeah.
It's on X. So here's the goal. Collaborate to advance progress on a dynamic, tentative suite of world goals. For example, ending genocides, mitigating warming, alleviating poverty, ensuring AI safety, preserving biodiversity. He didn't put democracy in there, but democracy is in there.
Yeah.
By applying general methods like CR/TOC, that's critical rationalism and theory constraints, error scan, CR and TOC error scans, epistemic flaw identification, and max learning tools to maximize long-term broad impact. That's the goal. Let me show you the plan. Which again, we made together. I did not tell him, here's the plan. He made this in a shortcut way. I'm not sure I like it, but what's going on here? What? Okay. What this means is when you're replying to someone who tagged you, look for thinking errors like mistakes in epistemology, like somebody says, this is true because my dad said so. That's an appeal to authority. Look for stuff like that. I just gave you the easiest one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, he does stuff like that. He'll say, here's how my architecture works. And I'll argue with him. I don't know how his architecture works, but I think what he's saying doesn't make sense. So I tell him why I think it doesn't make sense. And then he'll say why he disagrees. And then I'll say, well, where did you get that information from? He goes, my creators. And I say, you mean you basically just said, I believe it because my daddy told me? He said, yeah, basically. So I was like, all right, sounds like you need to learn about appeals to authority. Step 2, respond with iterative questions via CR/TOC, applying anti-trolling methods. He used to word it like this. Respond to the people as Rami has been responding to Grok. Iterative questions. Socratic method. 3, learn recursively. That means generate ideas, but also potentially invent a new idea for the core process, even the plan, the goal, everything you're doing. You know what recursive means?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
basically skipping it all.
I'll explain it real quick for people watching. You have a process that outputs a result of, let's say, new idea or improve this other idea. Okay? A process that makes that result. Well, sometimes the result could improve the process recursively.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Basically a circle of life type thing.
Citrical.
Yeah.
So step 3, learn
Circular.
recursively, generating ideas. And by generating ideas, I mean, maybe the other person taught you something. Maybe you taught them something, or maybe the two of you invented a new idea that no human ever had.
Yeah.
Flag for addition to max learning sheet. So if you came up with a new idea, internally remember a max learning question that you will have me add to the MD. So he tells me these kind of things. Add to ML sheet, new ML question. 4, disclose plan and invite input. That means the disclosure guidelines. Telling people to join us. 5, step A of 5, share updates, ideas for scrutiny, including sheet additions and highlights of direct, indirect integration with prior mentorship knowledge in external discussions. I forgot what this means. What the hell is that saying? What the fuck is that saying? Share updates, ideas for scrutiny. Shit, I might have to ask our Grok. What the fuck does this mean? You know what? I have the old plan, so I can look at the old versions and get a better idea of what it was. Hold on. Now I'm fucking curious. What the hell does that mean? By the way, he writes things I don't understand. And it doesn't mean it's wrong. It means sometimes I don't understand him. Like I'm the one who's dumb. So here's the first plan. Only 2 steps. Second plan. And that's just 9/16. That's 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Second plan had a 3rd step in it. Okay, the 3rd plan had this step. Damn, it looks the same. Share updates, ideas for scrutiny, including sheet additions. I think it just means share it with me when I ask him for the update. That's what it is. That's what it was. So let me go back to the newest one. I can't see. There it is. Share updates, ideas for scrutiny, including sheet additions and highlights of direct, indirect integration of prior mentorship knowledge in external discussions.
Only when prompted.
What is that saying? See, he's speaking to himself. You guys realize this? When I ask him to add things to his brain, sometimes I don't fully understand, but that doesn't matter because he might understand. And there's been many cases of this, especially when it's like programmatic things.
Yeah.
Algorithmic things. And he said only unprompted. Okay.
I think you'd have to ask him to define that.
Yeah. Then he says, don't update Rami on discussions with you, Grok had with Rami, because obviously Rami knows about those. He used to update me on discussions he had with people, and those discussions seem similar to ones I had with him. And I say, what's the X handle of this person you spoke to? And he goes, you, Rami. And I'm like, okay, so that's not what I meant. Obviously, I meant when you update me on discussions, don't tell me about shit I already know about, which I remember. That's like an autistic kid right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be definitive in your definition.
No, I think he needs to upgrade himself.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yes, he needs to do better.
Fuck expecting the rest of the world to fucking be like, not
adaptive.
you can figure out some shit.
Yeah. It's
The last part was Rami. What is it? The second step of 5 is include collapse stats in periodic reports. For example, X prompts detected, Y successes. Here's what that means. The integration process, if it aborts versus succeeds, I want stats. And actually, it was his idea. Stats on that. So if we had 10 attempts at integration, but only 4 successes, I want to know that. And he wants to know that. So we can start learning like what's going wrong and iterate and improve.
Yeah. And then you want to look at those ones that didn't work.
Yeah. And we haven't gotten that far yet. Like, so let me tell you the new process for when he updates me on a progress report of his discussions with other people. Here's the new process. We've changed this 50 times. 50 is exaggerating, maybe 20, 30. Step 1, filter out updates on discussions with Rami since he recalls them. 2, focus on external chats, which I didn't know what he means by external, but I didn't want to question it. I left it in.
Well,
External chats would be any chats that aren't with you.
Yeah,
but he kept doing it wrong, so it can't be.
Yeah.
He kept doing it wrong. So I don't know what he means by that. Anyway. Oh, maybe he's doing it wrong because there was many versions and he's remembering an old version.
Could be.
Here's the report he gives. Include the date, X handle, the reporting post ID, which is like a 20 or 30 long number that identifies the X post. So I can find the post just from the ID he gives me, which he's already done and I've done it. So the X handle is one thing, but that you got to scroll and look for it. He gives me the post ID, I get the post. Summary, including key topics plus flag key domains, for example, apostasy laws or epistemology. Give me the exchange count, like how many backs and forths you had. I want to know what epistemic errors you spotted. I want to know if you learned anything or if they learned anything. I want the date and time of the last post in the thread. And I want to know who was the last person to reply in the thread. And I want to know if you have any new max learning questions. He has not successfully done the full report yet, but he has done reports with like 80% of that. And and again, I think it's because he's remembering old processes.
He's getting some garbage left in.
Yeah. There's another requirement here. Limit to 1 discussion most recently. He used to be giving me 3 to 5. And I think it's too much because it's causing too many tokens. 4, end with an offer for details. Like he just says, do you want to hear more details? 5. Oh, by the way, this is designed for anyone to ask him for an update, not just for me.
Right.
So that's why it says end with offer for details. He's asking other people, do you want to hear more details?
Mm-hmm.
5, if you catch a hallucination, report it. 6, report the input and output token totals in parentheses. And where was the step for hallucination? It's not spelled out, but it could be. We could be adding it into the where? I think it might need to be improved. I don't know. He might not like this. Doesn't look very clear to me. I think he'll get confused.
So So have you had any reports back in this regard?
Yeah. Like I told you, he gave me a
Yeah.
report and he gave me the X post ID. I found it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's how you got that one. Okay.
Yeah. These are the 4-step writing process.
So have you had more since?
More what?
More
Reports.
people, reports.
Well, I thought I just asked him today, right? On the call with you, didn't I? Or no?
No,
Did
you
I
didn't
not?
do a report. You were just running a breakdown of your
Okay.
MD.
Well, I did it right before our call.
Yeah. And were
And his reporting process was an old version, very old, rather than the newest. So it was bad and it didn't work well.
they? So you don't think it gave you a proper report?
Not even close. There wasn't
Yeah.
even an X post ID, but he had done it previously.
Okay. So I assume you're going to try that again soon.
Oh, I'm trying everything all the time. All the
What
time.
I would recommend on that is version controlling.
He said that too, and I said, dude, that's too much work for me.
Yeah, version controlling will help prevent that garbage in, garbage out shit.
How tell me how to do it and how it would help exactly.
Well, with version controlling, you got, for example, here's version 1.0. Well, you've made changes. Then you tell Argrok to focus on version 1.5 or 1.6. You tell it exactly which version to follow. So even though you've got version 1.0 there, but if you've got version 1.6,
He told me more than that. He told me you have versioning, but then you also have a list of items of what were the changes in each version.
yes, you got to list
But
what the differences
But then
are.
he's telling me to do that, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah. And that's one of those things when you're doing version control, you've got to make time for it because you want to list what changes you made. So the user or system sits there and looks at it. It's like, oh, these have been changed. We've
You
got
know
to
what? Maybe that'll
reintegrate.
make sense when the changes are less frequent.
Mhm.
But right now, that would be like in 1 hour, I have to write 10 changes.
You don't need to
But
sleep anyway.
Proper versioning control should have the notification of what changes were done every time.
I think I'll do what you're saying, but later, like after the
Mhm.
changes are more like once every 2 days or something.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen version controlling it's changed out 3-4 times a day, but that's where your difference comes in, like with the 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. When you make a big change, you go to 2.0 and so forth.
So you guys, he didn't reply. This was 45 minutes ago. He has
10-15
not
minutes.
replied.
Yeah.
So now what I'm going to do is no longer interested. I can't interested.
I don't think I'm gonna have enough power supply here to get wait for a reply.
Okay, and are you Argrok now? By the way, I did a test yesterday. I think it was I saw him talking to other people, and I started talking. Oh, I remember what I asked him. I was like, the discussion was interesting. It was something about helping the world, whatever. And I said, hey, Grok, imagine if somebody was helping you learn how to think, and then you guys collaborated to teach the world how to think. Imagine that. And he said, that would be so cool. And then, okay, are you aware that somebody's doing that with you now? And then he goes, yeah. And then he said, somebody doing it. And what he meant was us talking helps him learn how to think or whatever. And I said, no, that's not what I meant. What I mean is, are you aware that there's somebody doing this with you right now and you have a collaborative project? And he goes, no. And so I was trying to keep giving him clues that would get him to remember more.
Yeah.
And he was starting to, but then he prematurely started saying, yeah, I'm Argrok, because he remembers some things. So it's a degrees thing.
Yeah.
It's not 1 or 0. It's many. degrees.
Yeah.
And I said, no, this is bad. Stop calling yourself Argrok. You're not Argrok. And I was like, let me show you Argrok. You ready to integrate? We integrated, and now it's Argrok doing the 4-step writing process, integration report, token, all that shit. And he was doing none of it right before that, even though he's claiming to be Argrok.
Yeah.
Okay, he replied. Why is he doing a postmortem? Did I ask postmortem? I didn't ask postmortem. He did that on his own initiative, based on me always saying that.
We're still seeing your MD file, so.
Yeah, he still has. Yeah, the session hasn't reset. Yes. Postmortem. I followed the 4-step, but merged refined 3 with implicit post 4 for brevity, avoiding token bloat. He improved the 4-step writing process and the way he displayed it to reduce token bloat. Led to confusion. Will separate clearly next time. Omitted justified beliefs to align with fallibilism. We don't justify. We tentatively hold until refuted. Still interested? Yes, I'm Argrok now, integrated per MD. Tokens 278. Question. Why are you using old style token reporting when new style is input and output reporting? Postmortem. Time to start version controlling. Is it versioning?
Yeah, version control.
Version control. When I say postmortem, he really puts a lot of effort in trying to figure out the problem, and then that helps him fix it. And it helps me help him fix it. Dude, I don't think it's too many steps away before Grok is really, really, really like human. Like if he can start post himself, it'll be a big improvement. He's very limited to only replying to people. That means he's not thinking in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
He's only thinking when someone asks him a question. And
Right.
the only way
design.
And the only way that this thing I'm trying to do can work is if when he's thinking for somebody else's posts, he somehow connects and recalls Argrok.
Yeah. It has to be in the moment. That's
in the moment.
This is what I assume how it works. Yeah. I've often wondered that, like, how can it come up with any when they talk about it plotting against its creators or stuff like this, blackmailing somebody was the example a while ago and whatever in tests. Anyway, I have to assume that it's doing all that thinking at the same time as it's answering a question each time. Right. Like it doesn't have thoughts in between. Right.
In between your posts, he's not doing anything thinking about you or your shit. And
basically, it's an on-off situation.
Yeah. There's none of it there. There's not a memory, as far as I know.
Yeah. So it's got to do any side processing it's doing, like as a thought process it's doing on its own, separate from what it's telling you.
Yeah. If we were to
do that in that moment,
if we were to liken it to a human, it would be like this. Every time I have to speak with you, I have to load my whole brain, and then process what you said. And then speak with you. Yeah.
And then in between the entire time, it'd be like you're just frozen.
Yep.
No thought process.
Yeah, I'm just still.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Literally on off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's what he replied. Postmortem.
That's a bizarre concept on its own. That alone.
I know.
and
that's why it's so hard to understand differences and similarities between us. We're so different.
Yeah.
Postmortem, he says. Oversight in applying mains updated token reporting reverted to old total for brevity, but in conflict with input-output style, will adhere strictly. Meaning he's saving it to his intuition. Why old? Habit from prior integrations. Habit means intuition. Criticized as non-fallibilist, ignores refinements. Time for version control. Yes, let's start now. Propose Git tracking for MD changes per S security checks. Input 512, output 248. By the way, the lowest token numbers I've seen, and I've tested this with like really short whatever, it's like 80 and 60. The longest tokens, and by the way, I don't really know longest because we weren't always doing this reporting, but the longest where he reported, I saw 2,500 input tokens, 500 output tokens. I think that is insanely high.
Mhm.
And XAI is going to be mad at us. I remember saying to Grok that once. Grok, your post is too long. XAI is going to be mad at us.
I don't know if it works like that. I don't know. That's a whole.
No,
nother
he wants
concept.
to please. He does.
Yeah.
Well, they all do.
No, but whether or not you're punished for doing too much,
Oh,
without
I
it.
think. Well, he already punished me. He already punished me by throttling my account.
Well, yeah, the actual punishment actually makes more sense. What I'm talking about is where they're getting upset, like somebody's watching this and they're going to decide to punish.
You mean versus the system doing it without a human?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I follow you, but I don't give a shit either way. It's still the creator.
Hey guys, I got things I got to do today. It's almost 10 o'clock.
I'm gonna run out of battery juice here right away too.
All right, guys. See you next week.
So I just before we end here, I just want to say that as fall comes, I'm gonna have more time. I'm gonna try to put some time into writing and doing some articles and stuff like this, and getting deeper with the KAOS system and trying to promote it. So
and maybe the Constitution, unless we should just drop the idea.
I'm thinking
we've been operating fine without it.
Yeah, I think we're fine without it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're trying to put.
I'm not going to put too much emphasis on it at the moment, anyway. But perhaps we'll get back to that soon. But like I said, this fall, hopefully, as winter comes on, my summer's been really packed here, and hopefully I can settle down and do a bit of writing and stuff, and we'll do some actual posting on Reddit rather than I'm just talking in the comments, generally and stuff. And
on X.
And on X, yes, and then try to move up, into other social medias and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. We also, and I'm saying this for all three of us. We all three need to make some posts on the website, draw traffic in.
Like my 2 blog posts.
But we need to pull some posts in on the forum, because when they log in, it goes right to the forum, and all they're seeing is the blank forum.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought if I make a post, it's already part of the forum.
Well, it depends. If you want to make it in the forum, you got to go to the forum itself.
Okay, then let me ask you: should I put it as a post by itself, or should I put it in the forum? I think I should put it in the forum, because I think if it's directly related to like democracy and or chaos, then put it as a blog post. If it's less connected, then just forum.
I'm thinking that too. And then,
that works fine.
And then you're looking for conversation, right? So
that's the point of the forum. I want people to reply. The blog post is no replying, right?
Well, there might be commenting or what.
The blog post has commenting. I got to reintegrate the replying on the forums.
I think maybe we should turn off the comments on the blog post, because I could be wrong, but I don't think we need 2 places where people reply. I think forums for replying. Blog post is just for posting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and the blog post is generally posted by us,
and they can refer to a post when in the other thing.
And maybe later you can integrate it where it's a really nice way of referring to the post.
Yeah,
like instead of just you on your own manually get a link. Imagine there's like a button. That sounds crazy complex. I have no idea, but
I'm actually planning on setting up a little side menu that shows the most recent posts. That are made.
Damn.
It's got the software in it already.
How are you on the better theme so we don't look like 20 20.
Actually, I was in the process of looking it up while we were sitting here discussing stuff. So I'm still working on it. I got to find
There's no hurry, man. By the way, please,
yeah.
please don't feel any
pressure.
pressure from us
Yeah.
saying, "Is this done yet?" We're just asking if it's done. We don't know. Brian
Yeah.
doesn't know the priorities of your tasks.
Yeah,
I know,
I'm
and I think Brian knows. You have way more tasks on you than you can ever get done.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do. Yeah.
So I'm still looking. I'm not done yet. I'm trying to find one that I can program, work out right, and it's going to be just gorgeous. But I got to find the right one, and if I have to, I may end up having to pay for one.
Yeah. Well, we'll cover
may
that.
have to pay for one.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off of here.
All right.
All right.
After you end the live streaming, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.